And then
Smack.
you can smack it, yeah.
The long rest button?
Yes, indeed. You're back at fort. Did a little bit of exploring on the boat. Got back, and basically where we left off was you guys got in here and gave your report, which I would like to kind of run down because we kind of cut it short last time. But we're also told that as of a couple days ago, the commission has lost contact with RSS Obelisk and Arisa completely. Nobody can get in touch with her. Nobody can communicate with the obelisk up there, and currently nobody's stationed up there. They were going to send some people up pretty soon because it's pretty close to the front line right now. But kind of in the context of that information just being presented, if you guys want to provide your report of what happened, just so we have the information from the party as to what went on at the last week's event. Whoever feels like doing that.
Yeah.
Everything went wrong. It was terrible.
Well,
everything went right. What are you talking about?
We didn't confirm anything. We have no information.
We confirmed that tower and its 8 dragons is not going to be a problem anymore.
We secured nothing.
Also, we actually, jokes aside, we did discover something very important. One of those little black crystal things was responsible for the formation of that tower and probably the congregation of the elementals and other creatures we saw. That's not the first one of these we've seen, which means that somebody is actually placing them around on purpose.
Or had
I don't know if that has anything to do with the Redshift itself. Right. I don't know if that's like a piece of the Redshift or if that's something else, but that's clearly a sign of intent. And that's a thing we didn't have confirmation on before, and I think that's important. So
the brigadier who you're talking to over the comm system says, it's certainly concerning if you found a third one.
It's also probably at the bottom of the ocean. There were also corpses inside of the tower.
Yeah. It seemed to be constructed of bricks, ice, and corpses, and when it came to the crystal becoming aware of our presence, the corpses didn't just kind of walk out of some space or, activate
stand
as if
up,
they were
right.
corpses on the ground. They actually, it seemed like the ground pushed them out as if, something rising out of syrup.
So they were in this ice structure then.
Yeah, the impression I got was that there was some ruin or something that had been encased in ice at some point.
It's complete paranoid speculation, but I would watch the shorelines for undead.
I think we can do that. We
All I'm worried about, the only reason why I documented it as a failure, to be honest, is because we did not secure or destroy the crystal to which we know corruption happened. And that means the corruption is now on the bottom of the ocean. And that terrifies me.
Noted.
We could attempt to go after it, but we would need some way to keep warm in those depths. It's not the breathing that would be the issue necessarily. It would certainly be the intense cold.
There are things down there, aren't there?
It also may itself end up encased in ice as the water freezes around it, so we might need an ability to maneuver at force if we're serious about this.
Protect ourselves from the void creatures.
I think the thing that I would like to add is, although I have some limited experience, I'm not completely inexperienced when it comes to other kinds of magic. And in some old ancient cultures, corpses were placed into walls as they were being built, or servants or slaves were actually killed on site, and the blood and the body actually used as part of the building requirements and building materials. And this is most commonly found with necromantic magic. It also can happen with others who have kind of an ignorant perspective, but I think my concern with all the undead and the fact that they were in the walls and in the ice and in the floors is that we might be dealing with a necromancer. And that is not the first time since we saw necromancer's portals up in Morio's place. And so I think that is something that we need to be kind of have some consideration of as we press forward. We may be dealing with a big deal necromancer.
Wasn't Morio himself a necromancer?
I don't know. He claimed to be a fire elemental guy.
Hard to tell.
So hard to tell.
No, he didn't deal in corpses. We were worried that he might have been, and he might have tampered with the body of poor Beth Laren from the state that we'd found him, but we determined that was actually the Redshift.
He did have that skull.
He did.
Yeah, the flame
He
skull.
did.
He had a portal.
Maybe the flame skull is
that
flame.
Maybe his boss did it, but
well,
yeah.
From what I know about those sorts of entities, it was done for him. That sentry was put there to guard him. He, I don't believe, had the capacity or the power to do that ritual himself.
Fair enough.
So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in the mix because as we get closer and closer to the tower, we may find more and more evidence of undead walking, walled up, whatever, in various states of death and decay, but that are sent up against us in an army or in some kind of situation like that. And that's generally the work of a necromancer, to raise the dead like that.
I wonder, have we heard back from the team that's out in the northwest? I worry that the necromancer that had been interfering with the goblins and raising their dead, we didn't quite track down, but we had pursued kind of their trajectory. I wonder if there's one or multiple necromancers somewhere further north or northwest.
I did get a letter from Van in the last shipment, in fact. Travel time, so it's a good few weeks old by now, but he sounded like he was making good progress up there. Getting these things started from scratch, even with the benefits we have from the Empire now, is a little tricky, and does take some time. But from the sounds of it, I think we should be hearing from him any day now, if all goes well. He didn't mention any signs of undead, fortunately.
That's good. I think if we have an option to acquire holy magic, Lauren would be the resident expert as far as I'm concerned on such things. We ought to try to acquire it. If we can do spell scrolls, things like that, where we could actually teach each other some kind of...
As always, we'll be counting on those of you who can invoke the divine. It's not my specialty, but...
not mine either, so...
We'll take what we can get. In the meantime, although we do only have Obelisk Carpum on the coast, I can assign a few scouts to keep an eye out near the coastlines in case this hunch about undead is true. If there is any validity to the idea of some of them escaping that spire you collapsed, then we'll want to be sure that we are able to cut them off before they get anywhere they shouldn't be. Yeah, so I think that's about all she has for you today. Now, last time we already discussed the obelisk going dark. So I think the plan for you guys was that you were going to go directly there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to wait as the Redshift is underway right now.
Right.
By the way, Amber Green, did you click that long rest button?
Nope. You know what? I opened up my character sheet to do it and hadn't done it yet.
I highly recommend it. And now would be the time to like change out any spells or anything.
I totally want to change my spells.
Yeah, for prepared casters. Were you going to say something, Albus Tower?
Yeah. I thought druids were defined spellcasters.
Nature.
Yeah.
Well,
they are.
Uses wisdom, but I mean, as the primary attribute, but generally the magic is nature magic.
Yeah,
it's they don't do radiant damage. We'll just say.
Oh no! The source of their magic was the divine, not the arcane.
It's more like the Feywilds.
It's not even Fey. Like it's sort of both. It's like the divinity of the earth, I guess you could say, whereas the paladin is the divinity of a living thing.
Like powerful nature deities or spirits, like
primal divinity might be a good way of putting it. That sort of thing.
Well, and that becomes
probably
very
depends
close,
on the druid. Right?
It becomes very close to elemental. So there's a blend.
5e did away with the whole arcane divine dichotomy.
They did as well. Yeah, I mean it's still there. There's still an arcane divine dichotomy, but it doesn't really like matter except for like what kind of spells and damage you get.
I was just reading about it here. There aren't any real mechanical differences.
Even clerics technically in 5e don't have to like worship a god. They can worship concepts and stuff. But that's a little out of scope for our party.
That's the orc way of belief, right? If I paint my armor red, I'll run faster.
Different orcs, but yeah. Well, yeah, because Montlarn is, 5e paladins are just spiral power, so.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of a cool spell, though. A Spirit Guardian one.
That's such a good spell.
Never mind then.
I'm just reading through that. I'm like, why do I not have that one?
I legitimately thought the words meant something in the system.
Oh, and one more thing she says before she hangs up. The plan was to have Mortier's team go up to Castus and then possibly up to Aris's obelisk. I assume you're all okay with them meeting up with you at some point along the road?
Is Sharp with them?
Yes.
Then absolutely. I would not like to meet up with them. That would be absolutely fucking terrible. Please don't make me do this.
It would probably be wise for us to use the same back roads to help avoid detection.
We can use my back roads. Nobody knows my back roads, and my back roads can be the secret back roads that I share only with the Brigadier, so the Brigadier knows where we are, but nobody else does, so that we don't run into anybody.
I'll let them know to expect you.
It's probably for the best.
Hang up noise.
And we're gonna need them if there's a big fight up there.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
So
spells.
You guys are gonna have to hang out at the fort here for a few days. So
So the redshift goes out into the ocean, right?
Yes, it does. It goes, depending on how far east you go, it actually goes quite a ways into the ocean. Closest to Fort Maricus, it kind of you're at the edge of the circle, so obviously it like curves down a little bit. But like way out to the east, it probably goes double, triple that amount into the presidency.
In theory, can I fish for anomalies?
Oh yeah, totally.
I would love to do that if I have any free time too.
Yeah, you guys have let's see, Redshift started a couple days before you got here, so you've got probably 7 days as usual. This Redshift. The Redshift will be waning on the 30th of Caddis, which, by the way, happy birthday to Amber Green and Nimbus. I believe
Naya.
No, Naya's in the middle of the year.
She should be in whatever works as September.
Yeah, we're a little out of sync. I know we kept
okay.
up with real time for a while, but we're way out of sync. We're in April now.
Oh, okay.
So Amber Green, I believe you are 77 now, and Nimbus is 31 or 32. Sorry.
Yeah, 32.
Still spry.
You're to
Yeah, not even a quarter done.
Oh my god, why would you say that? Why would you fucking say that to me today?
Birthday's tomorrow, kid.
Just fucking a quarter. Like, really, not like you couldn't have done like
Right.
halfway or anything like that. You were like not even a quarter done. Why?
You too, kid.
Ugh.
Still spry.
Yes.
In better shape than I was when I was your age.
I'm in
like,
better shape than I've ever been.
Yeah, you're in better shape than I've ever been, and you know, I was your age once.
But yes, you were. You had me well into
5 years previous to your age, right now.
Yeah, I have memories of you at this age.
So, going down the list, who is taking advantage of their downtime? You'll have access to mostly all the facilities over here.
I'm just practicing my flute.
Makeshift dredge fishing boat.
I would like to
Fishing
learn a
and
new
dredging.
instrument. Like that way I can
Yeah.
expand my repertoire.
And I'll call Amber Stream to go onto the fishing boat with me, and also Montlaring, because we've been.
Just keep in mind, you can't really go out on the boat.
Yeah, you can fish from the dock though, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
So only from the dock. All right. That actually makes things way easier.
Yeah, the amount of space you have by the obelisk is maybe 10, 20 feet more than this map shows.
I would definitely need Montlarin, but if that is the case, then I would also be asking Nimbus if he could help me in devising a way to cast my makeshift dredge farther.
So
I'd be
you
down
want
with
to
that.
you basically want to get a net and throw it out into the redshift.
Weighted net. Throw it out into the dredge. A redshift. Dredge.
That works.
Come on. You're encountering the dread shift.
I think the easiest way would be creating just the most paper thin sheet of ice that's able to support the dredge net, and pushing it out as far as it can go. I can create water currents to push it further, probably well outside the redshift, into the redshift if we're going to be going from the docks, and then I just kind of stop focusing on the ice sheet, and it breaks, and your dredge will drop down.
Quite logical.
Question
That is
for
very
Nimbus.
logical. That just isn't as impressive as like tossing it.
Nimbus, have you experimented at all with working with your spells inside and outside of Redshift boundaries to see if what you cast from within a safe place boundary changes at all once it goes outside of the boundary?
Oh, we do know that it affects our magic. Look at our
Right.
familiars, Naya.
Well, I mean, I think it's great to have a plan for this dredging activity, but I would just be a bit wary in terms of how the redshift might affect your
Oh
spells
yeah, absolutely.
in unexpected
That was
ways.
that's what I was saying.
Uh,
You're absolutely right. It does affect our spells. Look at our.
I would
familiar.
say it has about the same probability to affect any given spell as that any specific redshift will be the one that turns into ice rain, icy dagger rain.
My question for you is: have you actually tested this?
Oh, most definitely. I've, probably in the very first few weeks when I was out here with approval of Decus, I had just kind of run the gamut of things. Really tried all of the spells, had targets set up and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would have definitely done similar, probably with him. Mostly experimenting with the extent of what I can get away with my mage hand.
Okay, thank you.
It's rare, but it does happen. Take a firebolt. You have witnessed it one time. Just kind of turn into a glob of water, or maybe even ooze, and just splash on the ground. Another time, one other time you were testing it out, same cantrip. You had the firebolt suddenly turn into like a almost like a wicker ball and just roll after it landed, and not ignite anything after that.
Right.
Completely harmless afterward. Did not turn back into normal. It just stayed as it was. That's as far as like literal events happening. That's pretty much it. So it's pretty rare if you shoot off a spell into the redshift that something would happen, but you know that it very much can occur.
Does anything weird happen to spells that you need to maintain concentration to? So, like with the mage hand experiments.
Has Albus Taver tested that an equivalent amount?
Yeah, absolutely. Albus Taver would have gone with Nimbus, or at least been inspired after seeing Nimbus do it.
There was one time where you started it, and it actually caused a bit of a panic because you sent the mage hand in, and everything was going fine, and then all of a sudden the mage hand kind of started going forward of its own accord, but it also started pulling you along with it.
Oh no!
Toward the redshift.
Interesting.
And you had to drop the spell like immediately to avoid being pulled in. But yeah, you would Albus Taver would liken it to suddenly having a rope tied around his wrist, that just a tight noose, and just being dragged by the hand.
Well, it's already kind of like that. No, Albus Taver, if Ambergreen says that, says, no, wait. Recounting the story, right? If the hand gained control or sentience in the spell, then who's to say that the same connection that attaches and lets me control the hand wasn't shared? Right? That's a perfect way to analogonize it, or analogonize, allegorize.
I don't know what you're trying to say.
Make an allegory of.
Analogize?
Sure.
Maybe?
Yeah, analogize.
Oh, okay.
With the whole noose tied to the whole to the hand thing.
Yeah, it was pretty much like you said, what you'd imagine it to feel like if you were the mage hand.
Yeah.
Now, you don't think there's a very significant risk at all of a net coming back up to torment you, but you keep a reasonably loose grip on the rope and watch your feet for loops on the deck and all that.
I also triple layer the net, knowing that one of the nets or two of the nets might become useless.
That's fair. Yeah, there's plenty around here, so it's no big deal for you to do that. And the people here have been fishing during the Redshift. I mean, they have access to it, so they're basically like allowed to use it.
We've been eating redshifted food.
You guys have been eating redshifted critters. Like all the meat that you've been getting has been hunted in the redshift zone for the past 2.5 years. So yeah.
Well, that's not the same as
not afterwards. After
not while it's on. No.
You just said they've been fishing while the redshift has been going on.
I was going to say before you interrupted me
that
sorry. Most of the time they fish in the safe zone and don't try very hard to get it out into the distant water.
Okay. I'm just all like
you're doing something
after
a little
the death bug
here.
thing. We don't eat redshifted food anymore.
Actively radioactive food is different than mutated food.
But once you pull it into the safe zone, whatever's happening to it stops.
Interesting.
You could talk to Mount Laren about eating redshifted food. Yeah.
Lots of food in both American and European grocery stores are irradiated for freshness.
Yes.
That's true.
It is true.
Bananas are radioactive.
It's okay. Nobody in this commission knows what radiation is, so you're good.
I mean, light radiates heat.
I radiate more heat than light.
That's true. Anyway, Alistair, why don't you make me a survival check to do your fishing, and whoever wants to help him can impart advantage if they like.
Thank you.
I assume Ambergreen's helping.
I was going to say, I'll help you fish.
Yeah, okay. Then Alistair, you can have advantage.
Ooh, yeah.
We'll just see how well you do. That's pretty good. So what was your bad roll? Only a 16. Well, wait, did you have triple advantage?
Wait, what the hell is triple advantage?
Yeah, you did advantage plus. That's okay. That was your second one anyway, so it's fine. Yeah, triple or advantage plus is just you can roll 3 dice instead of 2, and I don't know why it exists in D&D, but it's fine.
Then my low roll is 10.
Yeah, doesn't matter. I was just like I said, that's your third one, so it doesn't even count. But yeah, you catch. You actually pull up a decent catch. Enough to feed the fort for an evening. It's about what you expect in kind of this area. It's what the people have been pulling up here. The commission folks, and none of it looks too odd until you do find one fish that has 6 eyes.
Ew.
Depends on how they're placed. If they're aesthetic, maybe that fish could make you a potion of...
I was going to say, if it seems toxic in some way, then perhaps it could be useful for Soriana to do something with.
Well, what would you like to do with your new fish, Alistair?
I can rapidly, I can't...
transport it alive to my guild.
Oh,
that makes sense.
You want to ship it off?
Yeah.
Do you do that via a portal or something?
But it needs to be alive. Yeah,
it mails it.
Yeah.
So did you knock it out or freeze it or with it, or you're gonna put it in a barrel?
Yeah,
well, they did it in real life. You don't think live fish sales wasn't a thing?
Yeah, no, you can
barrel of salt water. I get it.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. Nami will you'll be able to kind of pester Nami throughout the evening, going up to them being like, "Hey, can I have a barrel? Can I have a barrel full of salt water and send it off? Can we spare a barrel?" And eventually they'll just be like,
salt
"Fine.
water," and then you fill up the barrel with the salt water, and you're like, "I can't carry it."
Fine, you can take one, but you have to carry it down and up the stairs."
Can I have a dolly?
You got to roll for that.
$1?
A dolly.
Gives you a little caricature of a baby.
I'll help you with that, man.
Montlaran.
Thank you.
I hope it doesn't eat
And
barrels.
we need to put some food inside of it.
Yeah, you can probably, like chop up one of the other fish and dump it in there, or toss in some other stuff for it. It's pretty trivial for you to manage this.
They're gonna love this.
Yeah, and you basically like grab whoever is doing a supply run back to Orvis on the next waning, and just like, here, bring this. You put the label on it and everything, and hope it makes it there alive.
I need to do more than hope. Somebody bless it.
Send along feeding instructions.
Yes, and somebody bless it. I'll put a message on it.
I don't think gentle repose works on anything that's still alive.
I don't actually know that I know gentle repose. Which is to say, if my character ever needs to do gentle repose, A, I'd have to have it prepped, but B, it would probably be I'd go, "No, don't die. I'll play a song to bolster your soul."
No, actually, I've been using it the entire time. At
Totally.
every opportunity, honestly.
Yeah, but you are avowed, whereas I am not a cleric.
Don't we have
I'm a wizard. What are you talking about?
Something I can ask.
No, I have a equivalent spell.
Do.
You do have Maisie.
Yeah, no, I need this to be alive. Yes, Maisie, exactly. I was looking down to the commission.
You can call her up. She's at Orvis. She usually takes care of things that don't live in the water. But she can probably do a fish for you.
Yeah, like just long-term storage of barrel anomaly.
Yeah, I knew I had it.
That my guild can,
Barrel anomaly.
It's not a barrel anomaly. The barrel holds the anomaly.
Right.
Barrel. No.
Yeah, exactly.
You're quickly turning the club into the SCP Foundation. But that's their backstory, I guess. Cool. Is Albus Tavern going to do anything else with his downtime?
Albus Tavern was really looking to see if he could dredge up any stuff from the bottom floor of the ocean as well. So he was trying to weight down some of those nets.
Okay then. So we'll go around to everybody else, and then we'll come back on that one.
Yeah.
So what is Erinase up to?
She's probably, I think she's been just working on fishing in a different fashion. Just like
with a rod.
Like with a rod, yeah. Mostly just to see what bites in this river and what lives in it.
For context, unless you're actually fishing in the river, it is not a river; it's the ocean.
Or the ocean.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Although you could fish in the river up here if you wanted, but.
Okay. I got really confused as to what was going on with the water coming out of the river. It
Oh
seems
yeah,
like flowing.
the water does come out of the river and not go into the ocean immediately. It kind of loops around a little bit before it waterfalls down, like way further than it should.
Okay, that did catch my attention. She's actually fishing in the river.
Okay. You do occasionally see fish like swimming up from the ocean up the river that's in the air.
Yeah.
You're able to catch some stuff. I'm not even gonna have you check for that if you're doing it all week. We can probably give physical dice for spending the week doing that.
Now, does it look like the
5d4 physical?
does it look like the effects of the Redshift are stronger or more numerous the closer we get to the source? I mean, admittedly, it was pretty strong when we saw it before, but
yeah. Why don't you toss me an insight check?
I can do that. I cannot do that. Oh well.
Hard to tell any correlation. As far as you can tell, it just seems random. Like sometimes you'll go out on a scouting mission or like a proper mission, and you'll see like all kinds of crazy shit no matter which direction you're going. And other times you'll walk a long way, and honestly everything seems perfectly normal. It's really hard to keep track of everything, and you can't think of like one thing or even multiple things that stand out as being like patterned in a way that indicates that it's weirder the closer you get.
All right. Yeah, that's been her week.
Cool.
It's
Lauren.
the flying fish is a new one.
What are you up to?
Who were you at?
Not Lauren.
Oh, cool. Actually, I was also fishing in the river because I think the floating river fascinates me.
We could just do a fishing party this downtime if you guys want. I'm giving out physical dice for it. So if that's what
Sounds
everybody
good to
wants
me,
to do,
man.
we can just do that.
I'm playing my flute.
You can get mental dice for that one.
Yeah, I'd probably also join in with the fishing then.
I might even be trying to trick fish out of the water, sitting near these guys, watching them fish, and being like, "I wonder if I could play the fishing tune."
Naya, are you getting in on this as well?
No,
Okay.
she tries not to kill things. But she has been talking to some of the others that are stationed here,
Yeah.
trying to find out what have they seen in the last 6 months or so in terms of unusual activities, effects of the Redshift. She spent some time looking out to see if anything washes up that looks odd. And see if she can see anything that might be detritus from the tower collapse.
Sure. Okay.
So that's what she has spent her time doing. But she's talking to the crew for the fort here, and just, kind of getting to know people, but also really what she's after is anything weird with the Redshift in the last 6 months or so.
Yeah. So obviously, first of all, you find your friend Rodile, who was your boat captain last week, telling all onlookers about the terrible flying wyvern that was slain. He's making it out almost as you remember. The fight is perhaps stretched out a couple more episodes than it needs to be, but
fish stories are pretty typically that.
But he does also note that you all did very nearly die in a tower implosion. but cites his excellent steering for saving the day. Now,
maybe the story of his lifetime that he tells his grandkids. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Hey, it's his adventure, man.
That's right.
Come on now, that was only the first adventure on the boat. I don't want that to be the best one. We got to keep topping it. I'll take a peaceful sail, maybe one, 2 more times, but then after that, I expect you guys to find something cool and bring me along. So just talking to everybody around. I mean, the kind of goal of this fort in particular, and Nami being here as the commission's head craftsperson, is that obviously they want to get out onto the water proper, go up and down the coastline as far as they can in between redshifts. See if maybe there's a good spot for a base along the coastline. Maybe if they find anything else that would be useful. Obviously, map out like the southern area that you guys helped with last time around. So that's all important stuff. And really, the focus has been kind of getting the facilities built up and doing that. But also, of course, the Ice Spire has kind of been dominating the conversation for a long time. And other than that, not too many happenings that you've been informed of. There was one time a couple weeks ago where one of the or a couple of the commissioners built a snow person out in an area that happened to be just on the edge of where the Redshift met the obelisk, and it did in fact come to life and had to be put down by some of the fighters in the area. There's been a soft ban on snowmen as the winter's been winding down.
What about the snow angels?
No. Who knows? Who knows what would happen with those? They haven't checked them yet. But yeah, they downplay it enough that you don't think it was a big threat. Basically, just like a wild, like sopping, dripping thing plodding into the fort in the middle of the night. People waking up freaked out. But
it was made of sloppy snow, so it didn't matter.
It wasn't. Probably could have hurt somebody, but things got handled quickly. They all got out the tents, got the spear, turned it into slush, then swept it off into the ocean.
Grim.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say turned it into flesh or turned it into slush?
Slush.
Oh, okay. I thought you said turned it into flesh.
No, it's not like it was screaming happy birthday as it died. It
seems like taking extra steps. I mean,
it was
not. Well, I think it's really interesting that making a snowman out beyond the boundary and having the Redshift affect it could actually bring it to life as another kind of undead. We seem to be running into that kind of thing, and so she's very concerned about stories like that.
Yeah, undead or elemental or ghost or whatever. I guess ghosts are undead, they say. So it's the difference between a ghost and a zombie, I guess. But yeah, aside from that sort of thing, it's really been no big news at this fort, which has been good for everybody in most of their opinions. This has been kind of a launching point as Nami's been getting it set up. So hopefully they say this will sort of turn into a spot where people will be able to come and get a ride deeper into the zone as they're able to build stuff up. Rodile's actually gearing up to take another boat ride out. He's considering going north this week, and getting some cartography handled.
How far north?
He says we were able to get 5 days in last time, so maybe 4, maybe 5. Depends on how long the big old tower lets me go, I guess.
No. Well, we need to head north, so.
Or if I hit something too scary and I want to turn around.
That's fair.
If I see a big castle on the horizon, I'm not getting any closer.
That's probably a good plan. But if we can make good time, we might be up for that. I don't know. We can talk to the others.
Well, you do what you have to do. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere. I got my job to do, and I'll find you some good catacombs or something. Whatever
Okay.
it is you folks like to do when you go out there.
Sounds like a plan.
And regarding dredging up stuff, Naya, could you go ahead and make a perception check? So you're just kind of hanging out on the dock, looking for stuff that's coming in. Oh yeah. So you do. It's still been chilly enough that people who aren't silver dragonborns might want to wear a coat going out.
Yep.
And you do spot kind of like lazily drifting past Albus Taver's rope, a decently sized chunk of ice that you think might be from that tower, that pillar.
Did it look like it had anything in it?
Carried by the tides. You'd have to pull it closer to find out.
Right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I would kind of expect some of that debris to float by here.
So are you just going to make note?
Yep. I mean, I think you said I can't go out that far unless I'm willing to tackle the Redshift, right?
Yeah, and that'd
be bad.
Or we'd have a new boss to fight this evening.
Right.
So
you could get superpowers.
You might
and then get dead. Yeah, and you watch you guys kill me.
Just stick your tail in there. You could make it go off, right?
She doesn't have a tail. She's a dragonborn.
Dragonborns don't have tails?
No, they don't.
What?
These little stubby things.
I forgot they had stubs.
Oh.
So you're like a flea stack with wings.
Yep.
They don't have wings.
No wings either?
They don't have... Well, I knew they don't have wings, but I thought they had a tail.
Just like what?
A flea stack.
What?
A
They
flea
don't have
stack.
a tail. Oh my god.
Flea stacks don't have tails. They have little stubbies.
Yeah. No, she's just got a butt, and she's got arms.
I'm really glad I typed that correctly. I spelled it right first try.
Flea stack?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's about right. Smaller eyes, you know.
Yeah. I thought that when I said it too. I was like, well, I guess smaller eyes because I thought. I mean, I was a fan of the old school, so.
Yeah, no, this is literally a dragonborn. That's correct.
Oh wow.
It's so cool to find someone who doesn't know what a slee stack is go, oh yeah, that's about right.
I mean, it's not correct, but
Not 100% no, but it's close. They are what would happen if dinosaurs evolved into humans.
yeah, they have a similar body shape.
As seen through the 1970s.
As seen through the minds of Sid and Marty Croft.
Wait, hang on. What's
I
the
am
Doctor Who,
certain. I am 100% certain Sid and Marty Croft both took acid.
Thank you, Google, for Doctor Who reptile lady auto.
Yeah, I am. I
I
was
know a
actually
little bit
disappointed
about the history of
that the
creature.
Dragonborn didn't get anything really kind of reminiscent of dragon.
They get to
Except
breathe their
skins.
element. Yeah, they get their
Yeah.
element, at least.
Yeah.
That is so useful. You know what I'd give her a breath weapon?
What?
It has limitations because it doesn't go very far. 15 feet.
The ability to cast prestidigitation
That's
Wow.
farther than my sword goes.
or disguise self. I'd give up
It's
two
funny
stuff.
how many internet fan art Dragonborn have tails.
There are a
I
lot
know,
of people who are
and some
just
of them
like,
have wings.
there are a lot of people who
Yeah,
are just like, no, it's cooler, I'm doing it. So yeah.
Well, no, back in second edition, I knew this. Like, this is a thing. When I was a DM, a 2E DM, I had fucking rules. I was very commonly like, people would be like, "Oh, he's a dick," because I would start the game and go like, "Okay, we're gonna rapid roll. You're gonna make your characters fast, but I have rules. One, no fucking winged elves, and in fact, no race out of a Dragon magazine." Because I had a subscription to Dragon Magazine, and every other goddamn month, Dragon Magazine was like, here's the winged elf, here's the draconian with wings, here's the flying fucking blood eyes edgelord. It's like, you guys, bring the power level back down. Otherwise, what the fuck am I going to send you to fight against? The gods? Every time. No fun allowed.
Blood eyes.
Well, no, there are players who felt that way about me because I was just like, no, dude, none of these weird ass fucking fringy, strange races. They're no.
Can I be a Hyperborean?
Hyperborean, yeah, you live in the trees. Okay, sure. You're an elf that lives in the trees. Call it a wood elf. Call it a Tolkien wood elf.
No.
Hyperborean.
Hyperborean is
You mean
Conan.
Conan. Oh.
Yeah. Conan
That's
is
Conan, yeah.
Hyperborean, and the
Sorry.
word Hyperborean is a Greek word for people who came from the
Trees.
north.
Oh, Borea is forest.
Yes,
forest.
the northern forest.
An inhabitant of the extreme north.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Hypor and Borea. There are two words up there that at least two.
I concede. Ice giant.
Yeah. In
All right.
Greek, the Boreas are the gods of the north wind that lived in Thrace.
So
you
now is the point
Yes.
where we go to the Redshift map, the Redshift zone map.
In
Is that
the
fair?
red
Oh,
chip
yeah.
zone.
Yeah, we need to go
Naya,
see what the hell is up with Orissa.
Naya and Albus Tabber, you both get the physical dice as well for doing your fishing. Sorry, Naya, you get mental dice for
Okay, thank you.
conversationing.
Conversating.
And I didn't get anything like a boot. Or a rock.
Albus Tower, unfortunately, despite your dredging, you were not able to find anything of interest in terms of like material items this time. You were able to catch, some critters here and there.
Did you want me to give a survival roll, by the way?
No, I'm not having you guys. If you're fishing all week, you're gonna catch some stuff,
And you're going to get better.
Well then, it wasn't a complete failure. I have a live specimen going to the guild. They're gonna love this. This shit right here, if they manage to put it in display on the collection, oh my god. Do you know how many people are gonna come here? Like, what fucking out of fucking school adventuring kid isn't gonna want to come to the Redshift after seeing the six-eyed trout? Bass. The six-eyed bass. I know nothing about
I like
it.
6 out better is better.
Yeah. The trout rolls better.
Six-eyed trout. All right.
I think I used
Does
to
it
play
look like a
Xylophone.
trout?
for
Naya, help me with fish identification here. It's a trout, right?
You found it in the ocean or in the river?
Found it in the ocean.
It's not a trout. Trout is
Trout's-
freshwater fish.
Fair enough.
I thought trout did both.
I catch it off the pier in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I thought a trout was both.
I don't think they're a saltwater trout.
Yeah, I would call it a salmon or something.
Hold on.
Oh, yes. Yeah. No. Sea trout.
Maybe a Jack
Sea trout
Dempsey.
is a thing.
Maybe a Jack Dempsey.
Forms of brown trout.
No, there's saltwater trout.
Holy crap, there are.
It's
All right.
freshwater
There
saltwater.
you go.
Six-eyed
Rainbow trout is a fresh.
saltwater trout.
What? Rainbow trout live in the ocean sometimes too and go back and forth? Crazy.
Okay, the name trout is used for like 50 different species of fish.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I'll
it
bet you
doesn't
trout is like
Haha.
some
Six-eyed trout.
Norse or Cornish word for fish.
It's the
Oh, it's a
six-eyed
trout?
Or we could call it the six peeper,
That just makes trouser trout so much
the
more
sexta
funny.
peeper,
The six
Yeah.
peeper.
six peeper. Wait, is that peta? Peta is six.
Hex.
Hex.
Yeah, it's hexoptic salmon.
Hexoptic salmon.
Yeah, I mean, Lauren already told you what the name of it is.
There we go. I like it. No, hexopic salmon. Thank you, Montlaren. You get naming rights with me. Here we go. Finding rights, naming rights. That's very important. Your name will go down in fish history.
Just what
Fish
you
to
wanted. Fishery. Yeah.
Very clearly.
Not to be confused with fishery. Fishery is the history of fishing.
Anyway, avert your eyes while Roll20 does its nice thing.
Yo, it loaded all
I've
the-
seen the time knife.
Did it
no,
load them all at once?
I was going for claymation face melting.
It
Indiana
started
Jones style, nice.
like it loaded them, deloaded them, and then loaded them back in all at once.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, we're deleting more and more every week, so eventually we'll get to the point where it's not a lot.
Or we'll die. And we'll never know.
All right. So, just so you guys know, and for context, and in case I haven't mentioned this before, or if this is a change, I don't remember which one it is. If you guys are traveling on a road, no random encounters. Roads represent the known space you're taking between forts that you have. So it's like an established, not paved, not pathed, but makeshift bridges are over the things that you need to cross, and markers are left in places to let you know where to go. So these things are going to let you travel faster. Basically, if you're traveling, we'll round down to the nearest day in terms of travel distance for going on a road to another location. And as long as you're on the road, no random encounters, so we don't have to roll for them. So we can just calculate how far you guys are going to move on a road, depending on where you're going.
But my back road,
These are part of back roads.
Delphi cartography roads.
I assume those are included in this in part.
Oh, okay. I also just kind of
If you'd like your road to go like this, you can, but I'll leave that up to the party to decide if they want to follow that.
Speed is of the essence here.
Yeah. If there is something there and we aren't able to reestablish the obelisk, because it's probably not something we're actually
You would
able
have
to
to
do.
retreat.
We'd have to retreat, so we want to make sure we have as much time as possible. It's 4 physical dice?
5 currently.
Okay.
They were at 5.
Even from that location?
For now, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, then we'll fix it later. So yeah, as a reminder, you can use those whenever you want. Expire at the end of the session.
Concentration checks.
any Yeah, concentration checks. If you guys are going to stop over at Obelisk Castus, that's going to take you, I think if you go to Thesbridge or don't, it's like the same amount of time. So just taking it in a straight line. 1, 2. Yeah, I think that would be 3 days flat.
Okay.
Rounding it nicely off.
All right.
Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. And then just let me know. Are you running to Thesbridge first, or are you planning to just go around straight line up till the nearest marker that you can find?
I think we need to hustle.
Yeah, I don't think we really need to stop at Thesbridge.
No.
Okay.
We have reason to believe that we should be hurrying.
Okay, got it. All right then. You guys scoot and you make it to the temple. You get there. The people here they have an idea of what's going on with the obelisk, and they'll help you get all your supplies sorted and everything, and wish you well come next morning to get on out of here. About an hour after you guys roll in and you're getting your camp gear all set up and everything, and taking your evening meal, the expeditionists Angela, Kuromizawa, Lufael Sharp, and Jabberlax all show up. Angela walks in. She's basically like, "Hi, here to help."
Excellent.
We got the whole team.
Did they just go scout north and come back, or where were they?
We just came up from Orbis. 3-day hike. Not too bad, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I guess you were right behind us.
It must have been.
Yeah, we still have no idea what to expect up there at this point, but could be nothing, could be bad.
Show up in force, though.
Yep.
So, what's the plan? Kuromizawa says he's tossing down his stuff and putting up his own tent inside the, or just outside the temple. In fact, you want us to join you? We're up for it.
That would be a good idea. I think the initial idea would be getting within range that we can use familiars to kind of scout it out and see what's going on. If it's seems safe enough for us to approach, then do as such. Otherwise, if it looks like there's some sort of patrols there, doing what we can to kind of separate and pick them off.
All right then. In that case, yeah, you'll have the 5 of them joining you on the next leg of the trip.
Perfect.
Oh, there he is.
Yep. Sorry.
All good.
I had been discorded, I believe. I didn't.
We can hear you now.
Yeah, I didn't see the indicator.
So from Obelisk Castus, it is just 2 days to Aris's Tower. Assuming you go the routes you know.
Yeah.
We check out that what was that spot? The ice tower?
No, I think that was the frog.
That was where we met
That
the
was
giant
where we
the
saw
first time.
Yes.
the giant and the princess.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it
The
is
arrow
that as a
indicates the
spot,
direction they approached from.
right? And so we X that spot to avoid it.
Interesting. This. So this does sound a little dumb, but I was maybe we come and approach from a different angle. see if maybe this area had been gone over again. It is risky and probably especially dumb since we have a lot of people here. But it
you
wouldn't
guys are not going
take,
to be traveling stealthily.
but it wouldn't take any less time. But yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Is maybe go by that route since we know that they have come from that direction and from that spot. If we see traces of people or movement in that area again, that would be a big hint for what
That
we
sounds
might
like a
be
How's the
good
weather?
idea.
The weather is just warming up.
Hmm.
And also, Albus Tavern, just for your context, around this area was also where giant footprints were seen easterly.
Yeah. So, it wouldn't take any more time, but it does add some edge to our journey. I don't know. I feel like we might be able to get some information out of there. We might not be. It's neither here nor there.
Well,
Which
if
is
the priority is to get to the tower and find out what the heck happened to
that's
Arissa,
that's
then
why
we need to not go anywhere where we actually risk an encounter because we have no guarantee that we'll win.
okay. No, the risk of an encounter is a good that's a good
I mean, we need to get
point.
there, find out what's going on, see what we can fix,
It won't take any more time to go
unless
Right.
we have an encounter.
Also,
If we have an
right, well, one
encounter,
We're gonna have to roll for an encounter anyway. There's no road up there.
no. She's talking about with the giant
with the giant and the princess.
And you're right.
I'm-
It is risking an encounter to go the direction that you're suggesting, Elvis Taver. But I actually think that might be smart. If we're afraid that they hold the Star Tower now, coming in from a different angle would give us evidence that they were there. And if we happen to run into them outside, that's really no different than running into them in the tower, except that it may give us some sort of advantage because they won't be expecting us to come from that
Yeah,
direction.
we'll be waiting for
Exactly.
them to intercept us. We'll be knowing they're coming. Well, expecting.
We could even do that, yeah. But no, Montlarin made the point that I was trying to make there is that there is potential, though it adds risk, to maybe finding out a little bit of scouting information, just enough that it doesn't waste our time to get to the Star Tower, because we're going to go there anyway. But maybe enough scouting information to maybe bring up more footprints, new footprints, if there are any footprints. They might have come from a completely different direction. It might just be that we walk by, or that it's neither here nor there. But yeah, that is what I was thinking. Montlarin.
Yeah, it's why I was in support of the idea. I feel like getting a better picture of the surrounding area just may be worthwhile before we head into whatever awaits us at that tower. But you're not wrong, Naya. It's risky.
Mm-hmm. No, that I.
Okay, do I go full Thai spicy or do I relent and go 4-star spicy?
Bam, Thai
Four.
spicy. Bam, Thai spicy.
It's 5-star or 4-star. Now, I will say I did a fucking hot wing challenge the other night and was like, unfazed. There was one that was pretty hot, but the rest were like, come on.
Thai spicy.
I think I'm going to go 4-star.
God damn it.
Thai
But-
can get into a range that's kind of hard to
Five-
calculate. You might want to stick with 4.
That's exactly why, because I've had Thai spicy before that was just like, well, okay, my mouth is numb now. I guess I can finish eating this, but tomorrow my ass is going to be numb.
How do you think they're able to kick down coconut trees with their shins?
I'm going to go 4-star.
It's because their food is so spicy and their butt has.
I'll
gone
let you
numb.
know if that was smart. I went 5.
Nice.
The northern style in particular is like, oh yeah, no, the heat, that's part of the spice and the flavor. Like, we can't, if we take too much out of that, it's just not even the same dish anymore. So it's got to be at least this hot. And like, those are the ones that you could be like, oh yeah, load it with spice. Then you walk away like, fuck, my mouth is on fire.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
exactly.
it's
The
because
fact that
northern Thailand food is inspired a lot by Burmese and Myanmar food, and
The fact that they give
that's
you
where some of
5
the
steps.
spices come from.
Neat.
The fact that they give you 5 steps in this neighborhood where like this is a very ethnically diverse neighborhood. So the fact that they give you 5 steps of choice and the 5th is the top one means that the 5th one is very likely for expats and not for whitey. To be delicate. And I like it hot, but there's a level.
Yeah, no, to be very honest, there is a total level. I have had way too spicy before. Completely and utterly way too spicy.
Look at you going 5-star no fish sauce.
No fish sauce.
In character dialogue, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Why would you go no?
But you
fish
guys were
sauce,
fishing.
Myron? The fish sauce is really good. I really like it, especially just because, you know, I have a -1 to my charisma, right? A fermented fish sauce, that is the best. Do you want some? I actually keep some in my camping kit.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, I could smell it from here.
Dude, it's like, the best sauce. You put it on the rations and you don't even notice the little
Of course
tiny
not, because you're
marmots that are in
retching all the way through.
retching. It's so good.
Man, have you ever smelled straight? Actually, there might be some in your fridge right now.
Fish sauce?
Well, it's like
Yeah,
fish
yeah.
sauce smells horrible. Doesn't taste
Right.
bad.
Well, you use it in such small amounts because it's all about what it kicks into the dish. Like, so I have more than once had it in my fridge, but no, you don't open that and whiff the bottle. Fuck no.
You're also
you
not
don't.
supposed to
It
keep it in
stinks.
the fridge because
Dude, it
then it
sounds
forms
worse.
a crystal.
Yeah,
Like
it's
soy
worse
sauce.
than baby diaper. It's the most nasty.
Anyway. Funky fish sauce. Elvis has funky fish sauce. I still think the idea of going through in such a way where if it's heavily patrolled, the area we're going through, there's a much higher chance that they can notice us and respond before we even get close enough to see the tower.
Yep.
And that's what I'm worried about. We have to at least get as far as the investigation. If we have to fight and run, or if we have to fight and kill, or whatever, is what it is. But we need to at least get to the tower and see it first.
Yep,
Fair enough.
absolutely. But are you? Oh wait, no. Maybe you did say something.
Yeah, I'm
just went over
saying
my head.
11 of us out in the open is going to be a bad situation.
Yeah, Team B has not been up there before, so they're just kind of going along with whatever you guys think is the best course of action.
So
All
are
the
we
more
just going to go
reason.
the way that we know and not try to scout it? Is what you're leaning towards? I'm fine to say it. Okay.
Yeah.
No,
I appreciate the
that's
idea,
totally
and
okay.
I definitely know where you're coming from with that. But given the situation and the risk involved, I think that has a higher chance of preventing us from getting the main objective completed.
Absolutely, it does risk time spent just because we don't know the area as well. For all I know, that one of those squares over there has some kind of animal cave, especially that goddamned rabbit. Once we get some free time, I'm finding a hunting team, and we're going out and we're fucking killing that rabbit.
Very good. What we're gonna do then is I'm gonna have you guys roll 1 encounter check per day for this leg of the trip. So that's one roll per 4 hexes. We're taking volunteers for whoever wants to do the D20. Okay, volunteer accepted. Those are both of them. Great.
Party time.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, I forgot I could add my dice. Oh well, whatever.
No, you don't want to add your dice to this. I want a 1 through 20 on this.
Okay.
You don't want to skew it up. So yeah, with a 2 and a 4, you guys are fine. Events are uneventful on your way there. So I assume you're going straight north and then northeast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So
Does anybody mind if I take a quick bio?
No,
Yeah,
as a matter of fact,
let's do that before we get
good
into
idea.
whatever happens next. So yeah, we'll take 5, everyone.
All right.
Word. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
I'm back.
Hello.
I am also back.
Come back, Jack.
Word
All
up,
right.
Well,
Do we have everyone?
I think.
Sounds like we do.
Speak up if you don't. If you weren't here.
Speak up if you're not here.
All right then.
If you can't read this, call.
Yeah. So you guys make it to Arsa's tower about the same words. You make it to Arsa's tower coming from the same direction you usually do. The past couple times you visited. what you find when you get there, let me drag all of your tokens into place now. So give me just a moment. Well, we've got extra tokens today.
Bonus tokens.
Bonus token, bonus token, bonus token.
Extra. Read all about it.
Okay, we've got Angela, we've got Kuromizawa, and we've got Jabberlax.
You back.
All right, great. Sorry, I thought you were back already. Now we have everybody. So, you guys
said to speak up if you weren't back.
Yeah. So you guys make it to the tower as usual, and what you see when you get there is this.
Oh my!
Huh.
Yikes!
What the heck happened here?
Revenge!
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, is that obelisk? What's the word I'm looking for? Clearly vandalized, or is this a malfunction we're looking at? Do you think?
I think
Well,
it's smash.
what you see as you approach is that so normally these obelisks are built in a way that they wrap around the onyx that is the
Right.
centerpiece and the focal point of the device, and both the mithril like pillars and the onyx itself are engraved with magical runes that allow the spell to go on. In addition, this particular obelisk had been hooked up to Aris's tower, essentially her brain, by way of those cables that are now split off from where they were once connected and just laying all over the dirt.
Oh, wow.
No sign of Arisa right now.
Well, if she was smart, she would have climbed right back into those cables.
Is it quiet?
It is quiet.
Are there tracks on the ground around the monolith or around the obelisk?
If you guys would like to make perception checks, go ahead. But I'm going to want you to move your tokens to where you're like actually standing out.
I would have Badath probably do a pass across
May-
the opening here first before anybody actually goes.
And
Oh,
may,
yeah.
I just did.
And may I roll investigation?
Let me see what Evergreen gets first. Okay. Sorry, Nimbus. I think you were too late for everybody else going in that direction.
I'm like, I'm gonna go look over here and see if anything happened.
So Sharp and Lulu coming this way. Jabberlax sticks to Angela as usual, and is everybody where they want to be right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming the investigation roll will be redundant.
At this point, probably. So Ambergreen, you're the first one who rolled, so we'll go with you. There are very, very obvious tracks around this this obelisk, big ones.
Look here, you guys.
There's even a handprint in the dirt next to it.
Huh. So can I tell? Is this the big dude and his sister?
It's some big dude at the very least. You know one big dude. And this
Do their feet match?
well, you know all signs of the giant that you know. He does wear boots. So these are booted footprints. And due to so actually Naya and Ambergreen, you two are the only ones who are not surprised.
Woo!
When
I'm a dwarf, Elvis Tabber.
No.
Oh,
not
you mean you? Okay.
Yeah. So the pun, the joke, the
Uh-oh.
irony of Albus Taver having the ability to speak giant is
big words from a little gnome. That'd be a great name for a bardcore album.
It's probably more like an EP. Big words for little gnomes.
See what you did there.
It's like
See
a
what
single
you
with a B-side.
Nice. They called those what were they? They're like extra singles or whatever, like the cassette singles that had the extra song. Maxi single, that's what they were.
I was just gonna say that they were maxi singles, totally. All right, should we be rolling initiative then? There,
we can if you guys want to, but you are surrounded, on both sides by several
there's 10 of those
salamanders, just like the one that you fought in the woods a
shit.
few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, more material.
All of them are pointing their spears at you, and like I said, everybody except Ambergreen and Naya were surprised by this due to their big perception rolls that beat the stealthy checks. And before you guys can do much of anything at this situation, and your companions have gone into battle mode immediately as well. The trees shake as a giant, who you can only assume must have been sitting on the ground somewhere very nearby, crouched down in between the trees, with his sister on his shoulder, steps out of the trees. He just pushes them aside like a couple of branches. Nice initiative, Naya.
And he says, "Bruh."
Bruh. We have the advantage. Get back in here. Let's fuck them up.
The woman on his shoulder says, "Wow, they came back."
Has the high ground.
Okay, Naya. I got you.
Yeah, make sure you click your tokens if you're rolling initiative.
Right. Oh, that's right. I thought I did. Did I finally? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, Ambergreen, you're in there. Let me get the rest of the gang in there. Actually, I'll do it if combat starts, because it take a long time to roll.
You're right.
She says, "We told you to go home and you didn't listen, so you know what happens now, right?"
Oh, it's you. Did you talk to your father for us yet, children?
We did.
Then come to bring something useful, I take it.
We do. And the giant says, as promised, we're to put you down immediately, since you've decided.
Do you really want to go to war with an empire, you fool?
He shrugs.
So be it.
So I'm kind of conflicted, team.
Conflicted about what?
I don't know whether I should use command to our advantage, hold person to our advantage, silence to our advantage. You know what I'm saying? Or calm emotions. Maybe I should just use calm emotions, but would that work?
And it looks like the salamanders around you are,
Initiative, man.
well trained to your eye. They are holding their pattern. They are unwavering, and they almost seem like they've practiced for this. And she says, I knew if we took out one of your pillars, you'd come running back, and all we would have to do is wait.
In 2 rounds, I could make the giant indifferent to us, and I could then hold the girl.
That stops having an effect if you deal damage to them, right?
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
I would say that out loud.
Okay.
You would say, I can cast magic on this giant?
Yes.
All right.
I am out loud saying I could make him indifferent to us, and I could hold the girl.
12 seconds. It's all I need.
So that's what I said.
Y'all are cray-cray.
He says, if you can, before I put my boot down on you, little man.
I could silence you, bitch.
Oh, God. What the fuck?
I don't need to hear to step on you. But hold on. He says, we've taken a look at this tower you've got here. It's very interesting, and we can see why you've chosen it as a treasure. I doubt you'd like to get into a fight here and have all of your hard work ruined because some big giant of a fellow stepped all over it during the scuffle.
That?
What did you say?
I said little late for that.
Well, nobody stepped on it yet.
Points at the broken obelisk.
Well, that's yours,
Points
isn't
at
it?
the giant. Actually, it was a gift for a friend, but never mind. What do you propose?
Friend? The woman says, friend who?
If you can't even see it, it obviously doesn't matter to you. You realize you're standing in someone's house, you idiot.
Everything in this whole continent is our house.
Sorry, that's funny. Seriously though, what the fuck are you here for?
What does it look like? We got you in a trap.
You know, bring it again.
I'll sing your song when all of this
Someone's
is done.
going to have to. You understand that we represent literally the point of a spear of an army significantly vaster than anything that you could hope to field. Have you not figured that out yet?
The giant says, if you blunt a spear, it's not very useful for much at all.
And yet somehow we've wrested half your territory from you without you even noticing.
We've noticed.
Have you? So you've just decided you can't do anything about it then? Interesting.
I'll play a few notes on my flute. Probably of the Song of the Redshift, if I remember it well, which I've been practicing, so I probably do.
Yeah. She says, we took out one of your pillars, and you think that we just didn't notice that you were wandering around here? Of course we noticed. You were traipsing up and down our territory, back and forth. You might have been able to take our brother's territory, and he failed to stop you. But you haven't taken any of ours. We're taking back what you took.
You're taking back what we took. This isn't our... Never mind. It's clear to see you're still the children we encountered the first time.
Well, it's either yours or it's mine. It can't be nobody's. Now, can it?
You're right. It's interesting that you don't even consider a third possibility. You don't even understand what this place is, and yet you think you're the most powerful people in this realm. It's ridiculous. Only a child would be that arrogant. I'm pouring on all my noble snottiness for the record.
Yeah.
Basically thinking of everything people in court ever said to me.
Right. Can't take your land back from the Redshift, can you?
And yet we can.
Yeah, that was what I was implying, Elf.
But they
Actually,
need it to be
like
pointed
it.
out. They don't understand detail.
Fair enough.
You talk a lot for a hairy ape who doesn't know what it is we want out of this place.
Oh, he's an elf.
Elf, human, they're all apes at some point. She says, she spits down toward Montlarin and says,
I'm not of the same line as he. And
we know exactly.
And you're a giant. Come on, giant. And then whatever you are, I don't even know what you are, but the giant. I mean, he's kind of humanoid too. Are we all apes? I mean, really?
What this is we're taking this for our brother who wants it, and obviously he could get far more use out of it than you ever could.
Wait, that's a little inconsistent. I thought you said that you were doing this for your father.
Right?
Do you even know?
Maybe it's that kind of family, actually, you know? I mean, weirder things have happened with royals.
They're confused.
So the tension is...
Our father doesn't take things into his own hands.
So your brother daddy wants this as a gift, is what you're saying. You know this isn't ours to give, let alone yours to take, right?
Totally sidles 5 feet sideways. No one notices.
You guys don't want to bunch up. They cast fire.
Yeah, fair enough. Too late now.
I'm trying to be around the corner.
She says, and what exactly besides you all is stopping us from taking it?
Oh, we're just
the broken tower? Broken, it's not worth anything. Broken is just fucking slag, right? That's just garbage. There was a person here, though, that you destroyed by taking it apart. And now it's worth whatever these parts are worth to you, but why you want them, I don't know.
A person?
Yeah, there was
someone older than anybody here.
Yeah. Indeed.
Someone who probably has more claim to this land than you do, seeing as how that they've been in it for a few thousand years. But, you know.
Oh, we'll see if they have anything to say after we're done with you all.
By rebuilding what we already built, that's wise.
You might have lobotomized them. Montlarin is right to call you a child, Alvis Tabber says from behind a wall.
What great foresight.
The giant says, in that case, if somebody lives here, if it's as you say, then fighting us here could go very badly for you.
For you?
Well, it would go very badly for the person that did live here if they're not already completely destroyed.
It's clear that you think you have the upper hand here. So tell me, what is your plan?
We're going to stop running around back and forth with you. You're clearly not intending to follow our original warning and go back home to wherever you came from and go adventuring somewhere else.
I mean, to be fair, we did do exactly that. It's just home's closer than you think it is.
But we're going to be taking this location from you. And I don't think either of us want to see it destroyed. So,
you're gonna have to siege it from us.
Also,
do you
you
propose?
already destroyed it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you've left much to take. Like I said, why do you want it now? It's just garbage.
how many of you are there in your organization? 100? 1,000?
Millions! The Empire is global spanning.
How big is the Cradian Empire?
I'm bluffing if I say globally
It's
spanning.
one of the most populated countries on the continent.
Oh, I'm not bluffing. Haha, I don't have to lie.
It's not worldwide, though. That part was incorrect.
Okay, then I am bluffing. Haha.
He didn't
I
mean-
represent the fourth greater than nations.
Yeah, is that rock?
Well, so did we. We don't answer to anybody like that either. However many of you there are, it sure seems like they rely on you for just about everything, don't they?
We're just scouts. You don't know shit, child. I say shit and giant.
They sent scouts straight into a trap.
That's,
Then
to be
scouts.
fair, I mean, that's usually how it works.
We knew it was a trap.
You hear that? Everyone, they knew it was a trap.
Why
Well, they
you
outsmarted
stall it?
us. She says, if we get rid of you and we sweep you away and toss your corpses back into the river so they can float down to wherever you live.
Like an anthill, thousands will come. Millions.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It would mean war with an empire.
Are you
won't
willing to
stop us
test
from
it?
killing us?
I don't know,
What
Elf.
was
How,
that?
how big is your kingdom?
Apparently small. It has no recognition throughout all the other kingdoms. I've never heard of it.
It's one of the largest kingdoms of an entirely different world. But thank you, Albus.
Oh, no, not yours. Theirs. I know about yours. Ish.
Our
There's no
father is a
man.
king, and he doesn't need quite as many lesser folk to do his work for him.
What
You
apparent-
know,
What
my
apparent-
teacher
uh,
once
what,
called me king
is
of
the-
rats.
What is the genetic makeup of this girl?
You can do a nature check if you like.
Okay, I forget. I remember seeing before, but I
She's-
forget.
Kind of draconic, kind of.
Aren't they half dragons?
Right,
We've never. I don't think we've ever done a full.
Oh.
We've never done a full thing.
I don't know shit.
She has horns. Here, I can upscale her token for you guys.
Oh,
She
boy.
has horns. She has like scales on various parts of her body, like her shoulders and arms, which are exposed, are scaled. She does have a scaled red tail. The giant
tail. He's the devil.
The giant does not have a tail. However, his beard is made of fire, and it kind of poofs as he speaks. Both
Right on.
both sporting horns.
Is it emotive?
They're friggin' devils. Oh yeah, I'm sure it's emotive. You know, like Hades' hair or
Exactly. Yep.
I'm
A little bit.
I'm kill.
We told you not to come here. That's awesome.
Yeah, except you haven't seen him go into anything approaching rage at this point, unlike his sister.
Right, that could actually be dangerous.
But the giant has from the non draconic parts, he has bluish skin, and he wears giant sized gear that is like actually built for him. It's not patched together or anything. It looks like it was made specifically for a giant, but it's kind of like almost human style. And the woman has between her scales, she has a very pale, almost green tinge to her skin. Her hair is stringy orange, and she wears what looks like a tight bodysuit with like a obsidian colored harness around it, and obsidian colored gauntlets almost. So that nature check doesn't get you anything more than their physical descriptions.
Right.
Although if anybody else wants to make a nature check, it's viable. But what were we talking about before you went nature check?
He was asking how many of us there were, and we were dodging the question.
Oh yeah. She says, there's 6, 7 more of you this time than the first time we met. This is the best they decided to send out here. Then
Oh, you
We're not the best.
Oh boy.
They don't even know about the beholder.
Can both of you roll deception? Actually,
Deception?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Okay.
consider it really deception.
Yeah, I mean, I literally know a beholder. Like, that's just kind of
No,
funny.
he believes it completely. He doesn't have to sell the lie.
If you guys think that referring to Van, one who is not here or available, but referring to Dex and the Brigadier make that not a lie, then you can roll persuasion instead if you like.
I mean, it's the same roll for me either way. So
okay.
I'll go with deception, I guess, just because with me it's not.
Yeah, either way would work in this case because it depends on your interpretation of how the.
Ooh, even with a -1, nice.
Oh, -1 in deception.
I have a -1 in all charisma rolls. Thank you.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not pretty. I have a very ugly personality.
The laughable
And you think like booze.
insinuation that we're the strongest when we're just like, I've seen someone perform some magic that was quite literally mind-boggling. Like a month ago, no, a year ago. Oh shoot! How long was Fire Elemental Town?
No, wait, Alice.
That was a long while ago. That was like well over a year at this point.
Nasty.
Yeah, that was last winter actually. Yeah, so that was a year. She looks she doesn't look taken aback, but she looks to your retort, Irenaeus, she looks puzzled at that. And she says she just quickly says to the giant, we'll double check with Daymare. And then she stands back up and says, that doesn't matter anyway. If we have to deal with others in your organization after this, then we'll do that too.
It's totally too bad we can't summon the beholder.
No, he's like literally completely out of the question right now.
Actually,
Yeah, I know, but
on
like,
the other side of the map.
it'd be hilarious if one of us could be like, all right, hold on, poop, and just
Let me pull out my beholder stone.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, word of recall. Boom.
Right. And have him come through and being like, what the fuck? What the oh, and then all eyes go active. It'd be a cool scene in a movie is all.
But he's so nice. Would he even know that it would be like combat at the start? He'd be like,
"Hi guys, oh, I'm so glad to see you.
How you doing?
Um,
Diplomacy, eh?
Oh no! There's a problem here. Hold on. Freezes half of the salamanders.
I have to get to that, man. No, a little bit more subtle. He's like, oh, a little diplomacy with new friends, of course. And then it goes to freezing once they start getting mean. Gotta aggress.
The giant says, but you all understand we could settle this quite quickly between our two groups.
Touch me, Sama.
You want to go like Rochambeau?
Do you play dice?
We have the tactical advantage.
I'm for settling it quickly if you'd like.
You might have us surrounded, but we have the canyon.
Oh no! I think you have a slightly different idea. There is a building 50 miles north of this location. It's a little overgrown at the moment. Never fear. We looted the place years ago. But we could get it cleaned up. And then you can bring your group there. And we'll wait for you. And then whoever leaves will have claim of the territory here.
So it's to be a rumble.
Is this a duel?
You can call it a duel between organizations.
What are the exact terms?
Exact.
What are we agreeing to?
Two parties enter and one leaves. Is that not good enough for you?
Can we bring whoever we like?
I would assume that's the case if they're given.
It's a rumble. That's what my tribe called it.
Well, it's not like you have anybody besides who you've got here, now do you?
Okay, so we've established that we can bring anyone we would like. Fair enough. When?
He turns and he looks at the tower off in the distance and he says, "This should be starting soon. So, the next waning. We'll wait for you there. And if you don't make yourselves apparent in, we'll say, 3 days, we'll march back south and assume you've resigned yourselves to your fate or retreated.
I'm not sure after it wanes if we will even be able to get there in simply 3 days.
Oh, what? You can't fix this little thing?
No.
But could you fix this little thing?
Again, there's people far more powerful than us that
The next
to
waning.
which this is a trifle. But
What is that?
it is out of
Yeah,
our
he
reach.
means the start of the next clear period after this one.
Oh, okay.
I don't think this object does what you think it does.
Our options here are basically accept their terms or fight. How do we
Right.
feel about fighting?
Yeah, meta-wise, they wouldn't offer this unless it gave them some kind of guarantee. Like, they're childlike.
Just advantage, but yeah.
Yeah, no, like, fuck them up now.
Well, they obviously don't want to fuck the tower up. So, like, honestly, if we are gonna, this is a table talk.
That's
not
our
in character.
that's our piece of leverage.
That's
Good.
fine. Yeah, he did.
Right.
Like they did say pretty clearly that they have interest in this, and they know that you also have an equivalent interest in this tower. But they're willing to smash it up if they have to.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking it was going to stop a fight, but it does mean that they're going to try to fight around it as long as they can.
Right.
So, if we do start a fight, we might want to use that to our advantage. But at the same time, this is not our fucking house. It's kind of rude to have a fight in it.
This is going to be a brawl.
No, but we're gonna defend the honor of the
Albus
lady
Tavern,
who
Lulu's been trying to get your
severely
attention for
fucked
like
up.
3 minutes.
Who has?
Lulu.
Yeah, what's up?
BRB.
She's like waving from behind her spellbook at you while you're like taunting these guys.
Yeah, what's up?
Even though she's not saying anything, she puts her hand over her mouth and she points at the red crystal where
Over in the wall.
Yeah, where you see both of Aris's hands like silently gesturing.
All right, is it some kind of cant that I know, a thieves' cant or something?
Does Albus Tavern know sign language?
Albus Tavern is a rogue. He knows thieves' cant. He's also an agent trained by an organization of secrecy.
Yeah, that's
Albus
true.
Tavern, you have the ghost trap box, right?
I do have the Ghostbuster
So
box.
we could kind of run off with her and just say fuck the tower and come back in a better situation. When it comes to
Sure.
us.
That box frees people. It doesn't trap them.
Yeah, that's a guillotine.
Oh, never mind.
That is a severing tool. Anyway, Albus Tavern. Now that you're close enough to her, we don't need to do sign language. She'll descend her hands and basically like rest a hand on your shoulder and quickly say to you like, "I'm okay. I hid in the tower before they got here and destroyed the obelisk."
That's what I figured she would do.
Yep, that's very smart. We're gonna defend your honor now, my lady. We're gonna fuck them up.
It looked like there was a lot of them, so be careful.
Yeah,
I'm kind of
we'll just
tentatively
have to-
against fucking them up for the record.
Do you think there's any leverage?
I kind of
you have
agree
to
with
help us
Montwarren. I'd rather do that with an army at my back, to be honest.
Yeah, my thought is let's lay siege to this place that we're supposed to be brawling in with literally a fucking army.
Yeah.
Getting Dex, Brigadier, and Van involved, along with our best way to move a large number of people very quickly, is probably for the best. I don't think fighting here is going to do anything other than get most of us killed. Because we have
Exactly.
I agree. And in the meantime, we can use their interest in this place as leverage because what they don't know can hurt them. We have an advantage here.
Is getting everybody up here in 3 days.
They also have.
Unless we think we're going to hold them off for a whole Redshift.
I think we can take them now. But I'll go with you guys. We could make it look like we're gonna take them and then try to flee, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
I think we ought to
realistically,
just pretend to take the deal and march an army out to where they're saying we got to go 50 miles north of here.
it's a shitty deal. No one would make that deal who had an advantage to kill us on the spot right now, like they said they have.
oh come on, they're gonna bring their dad. It's gonna be a dragon fight.
Right.
Exactly. We don't want them to also do the same thing that we're gonna do. They think we don't actually have that trick.
We
Right, the
don't
difference
actually
is
have
we
that
do.
trick.
No.
But we have the Brigadier and Decus, though.
Right, but
Oh.
not right here, right now.
No.
Right. That's
No.
why I'm saying we should not fight here right now. Right now, we could potentially legitimately die.
Oh, we could, but we could also potentially legitimately die if they bring their dad and everybody, and it turns out that they're more
Well,
badass.
but I mean, which is a lot more likely we'll survive if we have an army at our back.
Oh, dude, realistically, Mont Lauren's making half of his dice rolls. This is not that fight.
Oh, fucking damn it! I think it's a.
I mean,
bad
I'll throw
move.
down if that's how it goes. I just don't think it's the smart move.
Was Alex ever with us when we fought the salamander the first time?
Yeah. I'm the one who initiated that fight. I fucked it up.
You did.
The prince and the princess both fold their arms simultaneously as you guys converse.
Say that again, sir, please.
Oh yeah, they both just fold their arms and wait as you all converse. The giant looks up to his sister and he says, "We can give them a minute." She says,
I'll
Yeah.
turn from the huddle and say, "Kind of you, thank you."
"A few
that king's
seconds."
scalp.
I'm going to play the Redshift
Point
song
of her.
again.
It's an important choice.
A head like that would look awesome in our collection.
Look, the
It's
reality
not about
is
your
we
freaking
have,
collection.
we have a duty to the Brigadier to report this back, and the only way we do that is if we agree to these terms.
Right. And we buy time.
We could also just murder them.
Well, I
We
think
can't murder them.
The
Think-
threat of them coming down and after us, if they think we're going to come back here, then it's not going to be an issue. We might have to retreat back south 1 or 2 bases while we're able to shore up our numbers. But if the emergency is put out, I think, if I'm not mistaken, don't we have contact with the Vesian Empire with our network?
Gradian
We did.
Empire.
Yeah. Sorry,
When
the
Arissa
Gradian
was in
Empire. So
When
if we have-
Arissa was in it.
So then,
You don't have contact all the way back. You have contact as far as Americas.
okay. So it'd still take, like 3 weeks.
If you were thinking of like mustering an army from the Empire proper, it would take weeks. Yeah. If you're wanting to pull from Orvis and Maricus and around there, you could probably pull something together at this location in 2, maybe 3 weeks.
We don't even have the time.
No, I think that's enough time if we do this right.
Yeah, that's plenty of time.
What resources does the elf have?
Does who?
Could Montlauren talk to his people in any way, or is he just one way
Huh.
gone?
I'm effectively
no.
cut off.
Yeah, he has no access to his world.
I think we doubt our strength, especially in these numbers.
No offense, but says the guy who spends most fights in a barrel.
I don't spend most fights in a barrel. I spend most fights up front.
To be fair, he only spends most nights in the barrel.
You see the giant counting on his fingers his number of
Look,
salamanders compared to yours.
I don't hear a lot of no's, so
I
I'm
have
gonna go accept his offer.
one,
Yeah,
two.
that's a good
You
idea.
have no salamanders.
I have.
I
some
have
other,
5 salamanders.
Very well, then. Your terms are accepted. And you know, good on you. This is the most adult you've been since we've met. I'm proud of you guys.
I mean, we just handed them the tactical decision.
Oh, you can go now. We're done.
It's nice to see you've got your head screwed on straight. Like I said, you'll have 3 days into the next waning, and if we don't see you there by, we'll give you all the way into the evening, then we will move south. We will give you the opportunity to still retreat if you wish.
Fair enough.
You don't have to fight if you don't want to.
I'm a man of my word, though. We'll be there. And if not, we'll meet you halfway.
I'm looking forward to it.
So am I.
He takes a step back, and his sister whistles, and the salamanders all come to attention, and the two gigantic misshapen creatures beside them also follow suit, and they exit.
Does anybody have like arcane eye or remote viewing or any of those spying spells? Now's the time.
That's the part where you had to stick your sock in their pocket or something.
Right, totally.
I don't have anything prepared. That's for
But
sure.
scrying is pretty up there. I don't think you guys have any of that.
Are there any?
Yeah, I think it's like a 4th level spell or something.
Are there any shinies or danglies that catch my eye that I think I could steal with my mage hand very quickly?
Honestly, these guys are really, really pragmatically dressed. They
were looking for a fight.
They don't have
I
anything
was looking for a fight.
worth noting. Also worth noting, neither of them are carrying weapons of any sort. Only the salamanders had spears, and the gigantic creatures had iron clubs.
They were bluffing.
That was true the first time we met them too, right?
It was, yeah. You have not seen them carrying weapons.
I bet you that means they summon whatever it is they use.
I was going to say, I assume she's
I
a
agree.
magic user and he's a brute.
Yep.
They couldn't have taken us.
That's why I was going to silence her. That's why if it ever gets super tense and I get pissed at her, I will fucking silence her.
Well, that would be the smart move.
Honestly,
Turn the
if I
mic
had
off,
thought
man.
if I had thought to prepare compelled duel, I would have dueled one of them right on the spot.
If you had done that, I would have silenced her as you did it. You would have done that, I would have silenced her next. How about that? Shut up and fight.
So yeah, they leave.
Arissa, you good?
Her hands fly out of from there, and she breathes relief out of her non-existent mouth, and you just hear her saying, "Oh, thank you for that. Where did they come from?"
Probably 50 miles north. Or something like that. We've run into them.
I'm fairly certain they hold the northeast of this old empire.
They tore down the obelisk. I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything to stop them. You're
fine.
My grandma always said, if they can't find you, they can't kill you, and it still works.
Oh, it's a very good tactic.
And they really don't have a clue. They're very interested in the technology here, the science, but they don't have any idea what it's actually doing or what's possible.
Well, at least they know enough not to break it open. I don't know what would happen to me if they tore this thing apart.
Right. And I'm awfully glad that you had the presence of mind to just hop back right into the tower.
Well, that's where I'm safe. Is everything okay with all of your other obelisks? Or they didn't?
This is the first one they ever messed with.
Okay.
Actually, just walking over to this one, is the crystal like kaput? Need to be like re-enchanted, or can I just kind of put it back in place and see if it comes back to life?
On an examination, it doesn't look damaged at all. And why don't you give me an Arcana roll, Irenaeus?
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking for. There is what's going on with the state of it.
She would call Nimbus over to help.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, then that gives Irenaeus advantage.
That's it. All right. At least she'll get advantage. Hang on. We'll see how it. Hey!
Nice.
Look at that!
But all right.
You've been working next to these things for years now.
That's true.
As far as you can tell, and based on how you've like watched Dex build these things before, it looks like all they did was unplug the cables, like basically twist tie open the mithril, and then yoink out the onyx. You think if you can put that all back together, it
Like
should
non-destructive.
Yeah, it should just like work again.
Oh, I was actually going to ask if, like, when we started this encounter, if the cables were supposed to be not connected to the thing, like artistically, but apparently not.
Yeah, they were pulled out.
Oh, yeah, that's simple. It's just make sure that the whatever wire.
And they're basically like outlets that are built into
Yeah,
the
we just
mithril
plug
of
them
this
back in.
particular obelisk.
Yeah.
The only question I have is, how do you twist that mithril?
Carefully.
It's mithril. It's not super hard to bend.
Oh yeah, I've never tried to move that much mithril before.
But it's also stranded. So tiny individual pieces of it.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Fair enough.
Not necessarily like a bar. So yeah, just attaching those back. Asking maybe Nimbus or Amber Green to get the other one. Just plugs back in.
And Arisa
I can
comes
help, I
out
will.
and she says, I helped Dex put it up the first time. I have a okay idea of how they work. I can at least check your work for you.
Yeah, that'd be great. As Irenaeus like hoists the entire crystal kind of back into the
into the seat.
Into the seat once the wires are reattached.
Yeah.
Green lights are glowing. Everything looking good.
So yeah, you guys got here pretty close to sunset. By the time sundown happens and night has fallen, it seems like the obelisk is back online.
Yay!
And
There.
Arisa rematerializes in her full-bodied halfling ghost form.
Excellent.
Absolutely.
Fixed.
Well, we better report in immediately.
Yep.
I was saying, yeah.
Can we conference call in?
She raises her hand and she says, "I'll go get the brigadier," and dives back into the crystal.
Thanks, Arisa.
A moment later, Lucent pops up on the comm system.
We need everybody. We need absolutely anybody who can get up here within the next 3 days. Oh my god. He just starts off like as soon as he can.
Okay.
Get the beholder.
We can't get the beholder.
this
We've already told you.
This information is over here. Lodvain, what do you have to tell me while he's going?
Oh, pardon me, my mouth is full.
Oh,
I'm stress eating over here. Munch.
Crunch.
So, the giant and the girl, they came. They took apart the obelisk here.
It was-
My word.
you fixed it though.
We did. We fixed it. But But they've challenged us to a throwdown in the north. They said if we don't meet them and meet their attack, they're just going to destroy us and move south.
They'll do unsavory things. We need everybody. God damn it, we need everybody.
I mean, this was a trap. I'm assuming that trying to go up there would be a trap. So there's
that one's a
two ways out of that. Force them out of that location or meet them with an overwhelming amount of force. And I don't think we can muster the overwhelming amount of force. So
can we bluff it?
I don't think so.
I think we've got about as far as we can with that.
I honestly thought we could kick their ass here. But it does secure and protect this area. And it gives us the opportunity to, please, God, just send anybody you can. Bare minimum forces.
Free domain. I will always think, can you bluff it?
What sorts are you looking at? Is it you said the giant and the woman, correct?
Salamanders and two other ugly things that I didn't really get a look at.
So who they had with them today was the giant, the princess, two
giants,
personal guards, and then it looks like 10 or so salamanders.
And they talked about other brothers.
We were effectively outnumbered here.
Certainly outpowered.
Yeah, we outclassed them.
I expect that the princess would be summoning. She looks like a caster. She sits on her brother's, like a giant, her giant brother's shoulder.
Had control over those salamanders, it seems.
Right. So I'm guessing that she is the caster, and she would be the one in charge of casting. But we already know from our own experience that 10 salamanders would probably be a really tough fight, even with 9 or 10 of us.
That there's no doubt about that. Well, let me see.
Our duel is to happen by the next waning, at most.
3 days after the next waning.
3 days after.
That's very soon.
It is.
We need people. We need volunteers. We need swords, shields, spellcasters.
I can pull together
a trebuchet?
50, 60 pretty quickly, but
portable hole.
3 days after
Order of Annihilation. Sorry, Sphere.
3 days after the Redshift wanes is not enough time for 50 people to make the march all the way to that tower up there.
Have we made any progress with actually getting beings through the portal? We have a communication portal, communication device. Have we made any progress at all with actually putting something through the portal?
Oh no, it does not work like a thing that you can put things through. It is basically a hologram.
Okay.
That you can. It's like a hologram window picture that you can see the other side of, but it's not a door of any sort.
It is worth noting, they are very interested in this tower. They're not going to destroy it. I don't know how long it will take them to access or figure out Orisa, or what they may do to potentially desecrate the...
I'd rather they didn't access me. Thank you. Helps appreciate
us too.
But Orisa, how...
Stop talking about me in the third person.
How do you think you can do to try to keep the doors closed and try to keep them mostly staved off if they do return before we're able to?
Closed. I don't think I can keep any of this closed, really. I mean, I'll just be honest, if a giant wanted to tear his way through this tower, he could probably do it without too much trouble. It's old, it's been on the ground for a long time, and it is just, gestures in the general direction of this question mark shaped thing. Structurally unsound as of today,
What about
So
what about the science of what you and Dex put together in order to make it happen? Is there a way to confound that for anybody looking at it from the outside who doesn't really have a clue?
like a masking ward. Oh, that maybe.
Yep.
I wonder if we could do that. Do you have anything like that in your commission already? Do you ward anything?
No, other than the Redshift.
I mean visually or perceptually.
I think that some of us have some
Anything that you can't
skills, some
access
spells
without
that we could do, but they would require concentration
Oh,
and
God.
maintenance.
anything that
And
you cannot access without knowing how to get there already.
Do we have no divination defense? Can people just like?
Well, I mean, we've seen instances of magic like that in the world.
No, I mean,
The Flower Sea is that, right?
right.
yeah.
Sort of. It's the
The
vault
vault
that you
there, more
went into
specifically, yeah.
was not really perceptually warded. It's just invisible and well hidden.
Well, in the same way, though, Orissa was invisible and well hidden.
Yes, but doing that as a ghost is a little bit easier than doing that to a whole tower. And I know the location of it.
Aren't you
Okay.
also just tied to the crystal more so than the tower?
It's more the whole tower itself is really the neural system that keeps me alive. So I can't leave aside from being hooked into this obelisk network, which helps quite a bit. But still, still just a ghost. She says, I would need some kind of psychic field that would confound them even more so than an image. At a certain level, you don't even need to visually block something in order to convince somebody that it's not there. But
Well, it's always harder to find what's missing than it is to sort through the evidence in front of your face.
yeah,
So if they don't know that what we know about this tower, then they could literally never find it.
but again, they already know where it is. The brigadier says, did they give you any indication of how they found out about the obelisk, or did they just stumble on it?
I have a feeling that they've known about it and just weren't sure what exactly it was, or realized that we had been set up there until they went by again and saw the obelisk. They didn't really give too clear an indication, but they give us a general idea that they kind of know a little bit of our comings and goings in the area.
Killing that one guard carrying a bunch of treasure to and from probably didn't ingratiate us either. Probably let them know exactly where we were.
Letting him know or letting him go would have probably been worse, though.
He did see us.
Yeah.
There's no good solution to that.
So they said if we don't show up after the third evening, they're going to come down for us. Now, Giant can run pretty fast, but they're not going to abandon their entire force. So we effectively have 3 days plus however long it will take them to mobilize and get as far as the tower. So we might have closer to 6 days. 5 to 6 days.
They're bluffing.
We could meet them on the field of battle somewhere between here and their tower as well.
Indeed.
I do like the idea of irritating their sensibilities by being late on purpose.
Well, I think it's also a good idea if their father was intending to show up, because he might just get bored and say, you kids are wasting my time. Piss off, find them and kill them, and then we won't have to deal with it. I mean, that's the kind of arrogance that we might expect from this kind of, tyrant.
Yeah, I noticed that the behavior of the giant, and especially the princess, was quite a bit different than the last time we encountered them. They'd lost a lot of their arrogance.
Yeah, you think they'd been chastised?
I think so. At least a little bit.
I mean, if I was their father, I would.
So
let's prepare for battle.
That's probably going to be the best. I don't know if we'll be able to get a response in time, but things are kind of shifting. I know they're probably waiting for me to write in my book and send a message back home. So
I just remembered. Arisa says, Montlaring said, different field of battle. And I know you don't want to start a fight here again, but there was a castle not too far from here. I think I might even know the arena they were talking about. It's, if my memory serves correctly, it should be almost on the way.
Do you know about this castle that's 50 miles north?
That's the I think.
If they're talking about an arena, they might be talking about the circus. Actually, there was a rather large circus there. That the kingdom held, races and that sort of thing at quite regularly. But if you're going to try to catch them on the way back south, then there might be, maybe, I couldn't tell for sure because obviously I haven't had the chance to go look for myself. But there was a castle not too far from there. You might be able to, maybe start a signal fire or something and catch their attention if you think that'll work.
Yo, come over here, get your asses kicked.
Camp out inside somewhere you can fortify.
Right. That might also solve some of our problem because it's not as far as that 50-mile hike. We might be able to mount a larger force.
I do like the sound of that.
So I think our priorities are thus: we should investigate and secure that castle. Meanwhile, we should send everyone we can muster here, because this will have to be our rallying point otherwise. If we find and secure this castle, then we move everyone there. If not, we begin the march north and we meet them on the field between here and there, I suppose.
And
I'd rather we
then
control
kill them?
Rather we control the time of battle and the place.
Right,
Oh,
that's the important part. And we should be prepared to fight a dragon if they're serious about who or what their father is. And he does show up.
But is the last boss going to show up when we've only got a third of the map revealed?
Now, meta speaking, probably not, but that doesn't mean this guy's the last boss either.
That's true.
You hear that, sir?
Lucent says, I don't like the idea of going toe-to-toe with a dragon.
Well, I think we're going to need our top-notch people. So we're going to need Dex. We're going to need Van.
We
We're
are
gonna
the
need-
top-notch people.
And then,
I feel like Dex has probably considered this problem, at least academically, already. For what it's
sure.
worth.
But we're going to actually
Oh.
need those people, the senior people, to be able to go into battle. A
Smitty and
beholder
his
on the
giant-
field of battle would be huge.
He's on the opposite end of the map.
We don't have Van. He's off north. He's at the edge of the zone at this point, building a new
Yeah, there's
fort.
no way he could make it in time.
Even if I sent for him, he wouldn't get my letter for a month.
Smitty and
The timing is unfortunate
Decus.
with regards to Van, at least.
As I was
I
saying
can
earlier,
I can ask Dex if he's up for a fight.
I think if we can at least choose our battlefield, the odds or swing further into our favor.
I can get some fighting force ready. But if you're planning on fighting these dragon princelings, in we'll just call it 5 days, they might be able to reach Aris's tower by then. If 50 people marching all that way.
More importantly,
Plus supplies.
Can we count on Decus and you to be there? We're going to need all of our weapons of mass destruction.
I'd be wary of leaving Orvis without anybody in charge. But
They must die.
Perhaps we have a captain over at Fort Ignis, right? That's
I have a few people I could post in my stead.
yeah.
Worst comes to worst, I suppose if my presence makes the difference between winning and losing, and that makes the difference between everyone up there surviving or not surviving, then I suppose that's better than me surviving and the commission running away afterward.
Well, the terms of it were also that whoever wins will have claim of the territory. So, if we do win this battle, it's not just that your presence and everybody's presence will be helping to save the lives of the expedition, everybody that's in battle there, but it's going to make things a hell of a lot easier to not have to deal with them. I don't know how far up the chain of command goes and how vengeful they're going to be in trying to do something to us for having taken care of them, or if they will just accept defeat and move on.
Yeah, Montlarin, you'd have to, with your knowledge, you'd basically have to trap them for 5 days, basically.
Accept their defeat and move on. They're giants. I'm turning their bones to bread.
One of them.
Yeah, if there was a way to freeze them in time or something, that's magic beyond my ken, though.
Anyway, the brigadier was going to say. She says, "Well, despite however many I can rally from here, I can promise you at least myself, and I'll speak to Dex to attend. And if he and I take the lizards, we should be able to get there a little bit quicker than a whole army. So if worst comes to worst, you'll at least have us."
Excellent. I mean, every little bit will help. I think that we should hold some of our forces in reserve. If we take that castle that Orisa was talking about and we can reinforce it, we can perhaps force them to focus on it while the rest of our forces attack them from behind.
That
in a classic
may
ambush.
work. Let's see. One sec. Sharp. She barks at him, and you actually see. Elvis Taver perception check.
Okay. Sorry, my mouse was on the higher opposite end of the screen.
Okay. Elvis Taver, you don't notice him jump when she barks his name, and he peels himself away from investigating the tower that he was looking at.
Don't ask him for help.
He goes over and she says, "You're capable of sending, correct?" He says, "Yes, ma'am." She says, "Okay, then. If we take Montlarn's plan, then Dex and I can meet you at this supposed castle if you're able to fetch it, and then we could rally the rest of the men at this tower, and then Sharp, you could send a message to whoever we have rallied at the appropriate time." That seems like a reasonable strategy. Do you agree?
Well, I don't think we have a better plan.
It will depend on how Arisa, it will depend on how well this suggestion of yours works for us. Depending on how intact this castle is, it may be one of our best finds.
We should get to work immediately then.
Agreed.
Very well. Be careful in the Redshift. I'll get everyone together, I suppose. There will be plenty to do at Orvis today. So she shuts off the communicator and is gone.
In theory, if I cast a message on the sun and you stared into the sun, would you see my message?
I don't think it has enough range for that.
No, it doesn't. That's why I said, damn, it has a range.
Yeah.
But if it didn't have a range... Or if I was 120 feet within the range of the sun. How would that work, though? Like, is the message as big as the sun, or is it only that spot of the sun?
It would be, it'd be the same size as usual.
I've got a spell that can do that as well. It's called skywriting.
That might be more effective, actually.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to look into the sun. Sorry, I had this absurd idea while looking over my spells.
Actually, yeah, Skywrite could act as an indicator of where you're located.
Yep.
Or you could use it as a signal too.
Yeah, I just hate to take a spell slot for that, but yes.
Well, hey, I mean, if you, it is a ritual, so you could always do it.
That's the only upside.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just have to give up a prepared spell for it.
Okay then. Well, I'm gonna give you guys 2 weeks. to concoct a plan. Next time we play, you guys will have basically 3 days of prep time to work this out however you want to work it out. Again, it took, just for reference, it took you 5 days to get here from Orbis. So however much prep you think you can do in 3 days, and then whatever happens after that, we'll see, I guess.
Sounds good.
What's the weather like these days?
It's just warming up. So the trees are starting to bloom, and the life and bugs are starting to come out of hibernation and whatnot.
What do other people say when you do that, Naya? If you're like, "Hey, remember to buy some milk," and I'm like laying on my back in the park, do I see the words form? Hey, yeah. I'm like, shit, yeah, milk. I should get some milk.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, everybody can see it. So whatever I send that way has to be kind of cryptic enough for the enemy to not understand what it means.
Right. It can't be. They're hiding behind the rock.
Right. And I do get 10 words.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's a
pretty
decent amount.
generous that way, but you have to be really picky about what you actually send.
The eagle roosts at midnight.
So I am going to give everyone in the party 1,000 experience points.
Yay!
Managing to not die.
For not dying, yeah. And yeah, that'll be it. I think we'll say for this week, because we didn't really have an adventure, that you guys can keep your D4s, but we just won't get any next time.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
And is that a level up for Amber Green?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Chatterlax is a scary looking motherfucker.
He's a gnome.
I'm just looking over these tabs. Like, I'm a gnome too.
Sorry, not a gnome, a goblin.
Oh, well. What?
Yeah, he's the goblin we rescued, right?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've kind of amicably parted ways with the commission, but this one's kind of stuck to Angela like glue ever since that whole Nilbog event.
Mm-hmm. I remember. I think Kurimizawa is the only one I actually don't know here.
He's the gold dragonborn that you've played cards with plenty.
Oh yeah, I've definitely scammed him out of money and chores.
He scammed you too.
We should get Smitty to bring Gabora to this fight too.
That might be possible. It's well, I guess he doesn't have to sleep. It might be a little bit harder for him to run quickly though.
Right.
But yeah, the Brigadier will arrange for people to arrive. There is a decent number of combatants available. Of course, they're all not quite at your level, but they'll help.
More bodies is good.
So yeah, that'll happen 2 weeks from now.
Okay.
Awesome, man. Thanks for the session.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think from now on we might do all 10 p.m.s Eastern. So I'll update the calendar.
Cool.
Good.
Respectively.
Right on, man.
Good game, everyone. See you next time.
Good
game.
everyone.
Thanks
for
Have a good one. Thanks
Bye.
for hosting.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for playing. Thanks for watching.
Good night.